Nimrod, the king of Ur, heard about Abram's refusal to worship idols. His soldiers arrested Abram and brought him to the palace. Nimrod asked the boy, "Do you know the penalty for refusing to worship idols is death?" "I know," Abram replied. "Then why won't you worship them?" "Because I do not believe in them." "I will tell you a secret," Nimrod whispered. "I do not believe in them either. I will tell you who is God. I am Nimrod, the mighty king. You can bow down to me instead." "No," said Abram, "you are not God. You do not cause the sun to rise and the moon to set. You do not sustain the universe or give life to all creatures. The one God who does this thing, he alone is God." "Then you must die," the king ordered his servants to build a furnace of clay bricks. When it was done, they dragged Abram inside and stacked bundles of wood around him. Abram's mother and father begged him to change his mind. "It is not too late. Bow down to the idols and save your life." "Worship me, and I will spare you," Nimrod said. Abram spoke in a clear voice as the flames rose around him. "I will not bow to idols. I will not bow to the king. I only worship the true God, Yahweh, who made heaven and earth." The furnace burned for 7 days and 7 nights. The smoke from its chimney blackened the sky over Ur. The furnace had to cool for 40 days before Nimrod could approach it. He expected to find bones and ashes. Instead, he saw Abram sitting in the middle of a perfumed garden. The logs for the fire had sprouted roots and buds. They had grown into trees bearing ripe fruit. Abram plucked a pomegranate and offered it to the king. "How is it you are still alive? You must be a great wizard," Nimrod gasped. "I am no wizard," Abram said. "It was Yahweh who protected me. He sent angels to shield me from the fire with their wings. He caused the dry wood to grow and blossom so I could eat of its fruit." The people of Ur asked Abram to teach them about the God he worshipped. This angered Nimrod. He said to Abram, "I will spare your life, but you must leave the city at once. Those who wish to follow your God must go with you." Abram, his family, and all who wished to follow him prepared to leave Ur. On the night before their departure, Abram prayed to Yahweh for guidance. Yahweh answered, saying, "Go from your country, from your birthplace, from your father's house, unto a land that I will show you. There I will make you the father of a great nation." Yahweh kept his promise to Abram. He brought him to Canaan, a land so rich and fertile that the people described it as overflowing with milk and honey. Abram prospered. His herds and flocks multiplied. His followers increased. Abram grew so powerful in the land of Canaan. Kings sought his friendship. He became one of the greatest men of his time. Yahweh had truly blessed him. However, Yahweh did not grant Abram one important blessing. Abram did not have children. Sarai, Abram's wife, spoke to him about this problem. "You and I are old. Who will lead our followers after we die? Without children to succeed us, the message about Yahweh that you and I have worked to spread will be forgotten." "Be patient," Abram told Sarai. "Yahweh will provide an answer." "Yahweh also gives us wisdom to solve our own problems," Sarai said. "I am an old woman. My childbearing days are over. You must take another woman as your wife, so that she can bear children for you." Abram refused. He wanted no other wife than Sarai. She had been his only wife since the day they were married. This was unusual, for during Abram's time it was common for men to have many wives. Sarai persisted. "Yahweh must have a reason for making me unable to bear children. Perhaps your descendants will come from a woman other than me. If that is Yahweh's wish, we must accept it. Take my Egyptian handmaid, Hagar, as your second wife. She is modest and God-fearing. I will love any child she bears as if it were my own." Abram gave in to Sarai. He took Hagar as his second wife. In time, she gave birth to a son, whom she named Ishmael, meaning, "God heard my prayer." Yahweh spoke to Abram after Ishmael's birth. "You will be the forefather of many nations," Yahweh said. "From now on, you will no longer be called Abram, but Abraham, meaning father of multitudes. I will give the whole land of Canaan to your descendants. They will possess it forever, and I will be their God. As for Sarai, your wife, I will change her name too. She will be called Sarah, princess, for she is a princess among women. I will give her a son of her own, who will be called Isaac. My promise to you will be fulfilled through him and his children." Abram laughed with joy to hear that he and Sarah would have a child of their own at last. But then he thought, "What of my son Ishmael? Do these words mean that Yahweh will not bless him, or that he will die?" Yahweh reassured Abraham, "Have no fear for your son Ishmael. I will bless him too, and will make him the father of a mighty nation. But Isaac, who will be born next year, will receive my special blessing." Abraham did not tell Sarah about this conversation with Yahweh. However, soon afterward, 3 travelers appeared at the entrance to Abraham's tent. Abraham invited them to rest in a cool, shady spot beneath a great tree. Sarah prepared a fine meal. Abraham brought the food to his guests. "Where is Sarah, your wife?" one of the travelers asked. "She is in the tent," Abraham told him. The man replied, "When I return next year, Sarah will have a son." Sarah, who overheard these words, laughed silently to herself in disbelief. "What is this fellow talking about? I am nearly 100 years old. Abraham is even older than I am." The traveler asked Abraham, "Why is Sarah laughing? Is anything beyond Yahweh's power? I say to you again, at this time next year, Sarah will have a son." Sarah came out of the tent. "I did not laugh," she told the stranger, a little frightened. Her laughter had been within her own mind. No ordinary person could have heard it. "No, you laughed," the stranger insisted. The 3 travelers rested with Abraham and Sarah for a short time. Then they arose and continued their journey toward the city of Sodom. Abraham went with them to point out the way.